Is it me or brain rot culture has taken over the grid? The hype over substance, the instant results versus watching talent unfold over time, the now culture, the same kind of short attention span and instant gratification that runs social media and basically our lives now, has snuck right into F1. Teams, media, and fans all rotted. In other words, if you don't deliver today, you're yesterday's news. And yes, I know, it all comes back to the dollar signs. Sponsors don't want to wait 2 or 3 seasons to see a return. They want instant results, instant hype, instant clicks. If a driver isn't trending on socials or bringing flashy headlines, why invest? But here's the irony. Talent doesn't develop overnight, people. Did we forget that? This now culture has expectations going off the roof from teams, media, and fans. How did we get to this point? Netflix's Drive to Survive played a big part in this wave of bandwagon fans. The series brought millions of new fans into Formula One, especially in the United States. But with it came a new way of experiencing the sport. Faster, more dramatic, more focused on the storyline.
Red Bull and Mercedes.
There is no relationship.
Every driver and team management became a character in a reality show, feeding this culture of quick highs and instant judgment. Drivers are judged not only on points scored, but on whether they trend. For example, let's talk rookies. 1 week, the hype, the next big thing, the driver who will supposedly dominate the next decade. The following week, they didn't pull a big performance, attention shifts. And that's where teams and media brain rot come into my argument. Teams have become content factories as much as racing scuderias. This isn't just media driven, it's also how teams are behaving. Roster changes feel more frequent, or at least the threat for changes, with rookies barely given a season to prove themselves. I remember the days when drivers were given 2 or 3 years to grow into their seats. Now it's perform immediately or the next kid in line takes your spot. Whether it's a one great performance or a DNF, you got a headline stating changes are coming. Dude, what? Can you wait though? They just aren't allowed to grow anymore. Colapinto. He replaced Logan Sargent for the remainder of 2024 season as an interim for incoming Carlos Sainz. He was thrown into the car to finish the season when he had barely reached 150 kilometers in testing. Pretty low in comparison. On the other hand, Williams was desperate to score points and put all the pressure on the rookie. 9 races, 3 DNF. Top 10 in 2 races though. Pretty decent for someone with barely any practice or time to prepare. Now Alpine is testing him on a race-by-race contract. And Viattore openly throwing shade at Colapinto. Keep in mind, the first 15 races this year were new to him. And yes, his best so far was P11, but even now his lap times are not too far away from his teammate, who of course already got extended through 2028. At first, it was, is he the next Argentinian star? Then he needs more time. Now, he doesn't even know if he gets to keep the seat next year. Alpine needs to chill and give it time. At least not as crazy as Red Bull though. Liam Lawson demoted from Red Bull back to Racing Bulls after only 2 races. Now that's rough. Speaking of teams making snap decisions, Tsunoda, not a rookie, I know, but had to include him in this. Why? He was promoted as teammate to Max, no pressure. With an undrivable car, okay? Managed to score points in 5 races so far, showing better performance, pretty much same timeline as Max, so yeah, car definitely a factor. And yet, every other month, there's a rumor about him losing his seat. How can you perform with the constant threat of losing your spot? But sure, keep Stroll taking up one spot in the grid year after year. Anywho, the sports news and media play a huge role in this too. Hyping, tearing down, and moving on within days. Antonelli. He hasn't even had a full rookie season, and the headlines have been all over the place. From the rookie to maybe he doesn't have it. Even before he started in Formula One, people were already calling him the future of Mercedes, the next Hamilton, the Italian prodigy. First 6 races, he was P4, P6, P11. Then went through a rough patch, few tough weekends. Suddenly you hear whispers of maybe he's not ready. Even Toto publicly expressed his concerns. Then Baku, he's a start again. The scrutiny on judging performance is so intense, and media covering his every low and every high. He's 7th in driver standings. Can we leave it at that? Behrman.
Brilliant Behrman as he crosses the line.
Hyped massively after stepping in at Ferrari for Carlos Sainz, everyone went wild. Future Ferrari star, youngest in the Scuderia, then signed by Haas the next year, hype over.
Oh, Hadjar, that's a good one. Unlucky start, but quickly flipped it. Then steady stacking points, pretty solid this far. Then the next couple of weekends, oh, the magic is gone as he ends in the bottom. And again, super hyped when he made the podium. Media creating buzz with a possible move. Ups and downs are expected. Can we chill with the rumors? Although it's Red Bull, so who knows. On the other hand, Bortoleto. I was excited to see a Brazilian again in Formula 1. People have been comparing his progress favorably to his teammate Hülkenberg. He finished in the top 10 in 4 races so far. Team supports him. He's having his moments. Doing very well considering what he drives, so he's steadily developing. Not enough for big headlines and media buzz. It's kind of a pattern over and over. Hype, dip, forget, repeat. This is exhausting, and that's me. How do they feel?
Also, did people forget this is a team sport and driver standings don't rest only on his shoulders? You got car performance, pit wall strategies, pit crew timing, and surprise errors, sudden car failures.
Lando Norris is out of the race.
And, worst of all, he can always be on the receiving end of another driver's mistakes. Now, here's the crazy part. While rookies are getting judged after just a handful of races, veterans are treated completely different. Lewis Hamilton hasn't won a title since 2020, but moving to Ferrari in 2025 is still framed as a legendary career move. And even though he's not doing great, while still working out the quirks of the car, the Tifosi are rooting for him to give them title number 17.
Team also continues to unconditionally support Charles Leclerc. He has spent his whole Ferrari career chasing a title that never came, falling within the top drivers, but never the top. Yet, he's still considered Ferrari's golden boy. Why have they kept him all these years?
Carlos Sainz, even when switching to a team that hasn't been in the top for many years, fans and media are still by his side. And with the third place win at Baku, people went nuts. Everyone patiently waited for him to adjust to being in a different team, different car. Even Fernando Alonso, who's only scraped a few points with Aston Martin lately, is still seen as a legend. When he does well, he's Alonso, he's the best. When he doesn't do well, oh, the car sucks. The bet of the grid is still in the conversations though. So basically, reputation buys patience. Teams will bend over backwards to keep the seasoned drivers comfortable, trusting that their skill and experience will eventually pay off. But rookies, they don't get that grace period if they're not instantly delivering, at least not all. It's a double standard that shows just how brutal F1's short attention span has become. Legends are allowed to have bad seasons. Rookies aren't even allowed to have bad weekends. All of this shows the bipolar nature of F1 today. We love a driver when they're hot, and we move on when they're not. If you're a rookie, you gotta earn it quickly and right away. They are entering the most competitive, unforgiving environment in motorsport at a younger age than ever before. And the environment they're stepping into is built to consume talent as quickly as possible. They get the seat, but they have to earn everyone's patience faster than ever to keep the seat. Sponsors pressure for quick return on investment, teams rush to make changes, the media amplifies it, and the fans consume it like TikToks. What's next? Who's the next prodigy? Which driver's seat is at risk? The instant gratification, consumers' behavior, dopamine cycle that run social media are now shaping careers in Formula 1. Will they slow down to let newcomers reach their full potential, or is F1's rotten period here to stay?